This is not what I expected to come back for Park to Prem on your Wednesday afternoon viewing, but here we are, and Jakub Gaspar is the top wonder kid in world football. He has won the NXGN award. I don't know what a player actually gets for winning the NXGN award. Do they get like an award, a trophy, certificate? Not a Scooby-Doo. And in fact, it's not just Gaspar who, well, did feature in this list from our side, although he was the winner overall, which I think is absolutely mad. At 19 years old, just a reminder, in case you've somehow forgot, we signed this man for £650,000. Elsewhere, two of our Uruguayan players featured in the top 50. Gustavo Lemos, who I criticised last episode, and then he scored last episode. Since then, he's gone and done a load more stuff. He popped in at number 6, and to complete a Guernsey trio, another Uruguayan, Emiliano Montero, who has just signed a new deal at the club to increase his release clause even more. He came in at 38th. Yes, the future here at Guernsey, it's looking rather bright. Today we are going to be ending the season here at Guernsey. We look destined for a mid-table finish. With that in mind, one game, it's a Chelsea away day, but as well as that, a youth intake to cover. And what a youth intake it's been. We're going to talk more about this. At the end of the episode, we're going to do the season wrap-up, and of course tomorrow, it does mean there's a transfer special. But before any of that can happen, let's run the intro, shall we? My, oh my, oh my, what a wonderful day it is here at Guernsey. Like I've already said, we are going to be ending the season today. Ultimately, we're a safe bet now for a mid-table finish. There's not a whole lot to play for, so rather than drag out the season, plan of attack today, single match live. It's this game against Chelsea away from home. I thought we'd do an away day against one of the big boys. I've kind of tried to avoid doing them this year, mostly because the games against the big teams don't matter quite as much, but I'd like to think as a mainstay of the Premier League, you know, we don't want to burn through all the away days at once. I want to kind of space them out a little bit. But today I thought Chelsea in third could be a fun little test. Now, of course, last episode, weird episode, 2 1-0 results. Since then, 4 games played, but that has been over a rather large period of time. It's been, what, a month and a half since we were last here? In that time, a mixed bag, but 3 wins in a row. We've been in some good little form. Unfortunately, couldn't cause the upset of a century at Old Trafford. We lost this one 2-1. They missed a penalty in the 94th minute. Besides that, it was a very, very even game. Little silver lining, I suppose. Lemos went and scored again, and Lemos, oh my word, 18 years old, just a reminder, signed for 1.4 million, has been sent off a few times. He's had an absolutely crazy season, but one thing that I cannot praise him enough for is his development. Look how much he's improved already. This man is only 18 years old. I'm going to say it now. He could be a club legend. I want to believe he's here for the long haul. I am very, very cautious of the fact he has got a £74 million release clause to clubs in continental competitions. He has only just signed this new deal. That was the best I could do with release clauses. Although, even though we have a load of money, £74 million, I suppose, wouldn't really be a bad thing. After that result, though, a load of wins in a row. And in fact, in all of these games, we've managed to score 3 goals. Back-to-back 3-2 wins. First of which was against Brentford. In this game, Chilumbu scored. Hallelujah. I know. I was worried for him too. It's his 3rd goal of the season. He's not followed it up with any of goals in the results since, but it was an important goal. And in this game against Brentford, we ultimately won via a Gadia goal assisted by Lemos. As the old saying goes, when life gives you Lemos, make goals. Here he is. He squared it inside to Gadia, on off the bench, slotted it away. That was a winner in the 94th minute. What I failed to mention through all of this is Brentford had a man sent off after 21 minutes. Yeah, we probably should have won this one by more. After that 3-2 win against Brentford, we did manage to get a 3-2 win against Bournemouth, who are down below us in the league. They got a late consolation, but it was not enough. And then most recently, we took on Peterborough, and Tejera got a hat-trick. Now, the highlights for this game aren't very long, so we'll just watch them. Peterborough down at the bottom of the table. I think I know why they're bottom. It's because they can't defend set pieces. Tejera has 8 goals for the season, which is a great total, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, there's an air of deja vu with all the goals that we scored. He was just at the back post or the near post doing stuff. We're not going to talk about Setford on this goal, by the way. Forgot this happened. Editing Jack, edit out that goal. But yes, 3rd and final goal for us. Williams back post. Tejera was there. 3-1 it finished. Job's done. Centre-back getting a hat-trick. That doesn't happen every day. Maybe the 20 jumping reach was holding him back. That's what I'm beginning to think. So with 3 wins in a row, my nerves about the end of season are somewhat alleviated. We have managed to muster up now 44 points. That should be enough for safety. In fact, yeah, 44 points. It will be enough for safety. I don't think it's quite mathematically there, but it's there or thereabouts. But with safety secured and the European spots out of reach, today we are going to be wrapping up the season. Just the one game against Chelsea to do. It is an away day. However, there's something more exciting to talk about. Youth candidates, youth intake. It's very, very good, ladies and gentlemen. So the first of the players we picked up is Hugo Hurtado. This man is a Northern Irish player who is also part Spanish. If you were wondering, Hugo Hurtado, not a traditional Northern Irish name. This man, he's a bit of a weird player, very good finishing, some okay mentals, has really good heading but not so good jumping reach. But given his age, loads of room to improve, consistent performer, low determination, I do not like. Another player who allegedly has really good potential, but I'm not as keen on as some of the other players, is Godwin Sanusi. This man, 15 years old, left wing-back option for the future, doesn't really have any obvious gaps in his game, but with the exception of perhaps his tackling, technique and work rate, he doesn't really have any strengths either. Another striker in this year's intake is Ricky Walker, not as prolific in the air as the previous one, but this man does actually have determination, 17 of it to be precise. Physicals are definitely lacking. He needs to bulk up, he needs to hit the gym, but at 15 years old, loads of time to do it. As with a lot of these players, our staff think they have really high potential. In terms of their current ability, they're all kind of lacking a little bit. And in the kind of case of Michael Keenan here, added dilemma, I've had to train him to play right wing back because I don't play with right wingers and I don't think we are going to play with them, and I don't think he's better at any other role. What would you train Keenan as to fit our team? I've decided wing back. He's okay, potential perhaps, has no defensive ability and no real mental ability. He can just run fast and cross. The final of the elite talents in that kind of upper bracket of the preview is George Cheshire, and he's not a bad player, perhaps one of the more exciting players actually, a well-rounded player, super consistent, not the best determination, but not really the worst either. If he can fulfill his potential, I'll be happy. Doesn't really have an obvious gap in his game, I suppose, with the exception of his physicals. Lots of 10s, lots of 8s, lots of 9s. At 16 years old, he's got room to grow. So those 5 players there, they're considered the better players in the intake. There's actually a few, though, that I'm a little keener on. The first is Luke Watch, or is it Luke Watch? We'll never know. At 16 years old, this guy has a load of potential, but is lacking in current ability, has some decent natural flair, just needs to improve on the whole as a footballer. But as with all of these players, if 1 or 2 of them develop and fulfill this potential our staff think they have, that would be a pretty good intake on the whole. The final of the players I'm going to cover who I think could break into the first team is Corby Rieger here. This man is 16 years old, amazing determination, amazing teamwork, perhaps has the best current ability of all the players in this intake, but, and there's a bit of a big but, his potential has got a little bit of a question mark over it. That said, within our team, kind of that 4-star potential, just to perhaps put it in perspective, that puts him on a potentially similar level to Machete in terms of ability. That's not bad by any means. So this has been a really, really good intake. What I would say is we are relying on a lot of these players to fulfill their potential, and also assuming that my staff's assessment of their potential is correct. Of course, Jonathan Pepper, the new head of youth development, has got good judging ability and potential, but in Football Manager, it does feel very random a lot of the time, especially when players first generate kind of your staff's reviews on them. So watch this space. If any of them develop, I'll be happy. And elsewhere, by the way, I do want to talk about last year's kind of star intake player, Dale Davidson, a player who had no concept of centre-back. We have trained him to play there throughout this year. He was a player who was lacking very much so when it came to his mentals. We've had him in an okay mentoring group. He's not really seen any improvements to his determination, but he's slightly less ambitious, which is, well, the silver lining that I'm going to find. Ultimately, at 17 years old, though, he could still be a very, very good player. Been trying to give him a few appearances here and there. He actually played against Peterborough in our previous game. Between now and the end of the season, I wouldn't mind giving him some more games, and he does actually hold the record for the youngest ever appearance maker in Guernsey colours. Will he hold it forever? I'm not sure. Will he make it into the first team? I want to believe he can. I would like to know what you rate my youth intake. Give it a score between A and F. I feel like this is a C+. I've added pluses into the metrics there. It's not a bad intake. It could be really, really good, but without any of the players having amazing current ability, it's always hard to judge, are any of them actually going to develop? It's the kind of thing where in 18 months' time, we'll look back on some of these players and they'll either have not developed at all, or they will be the next best thing since sliced bread. Anyway, with 44 points secured, we are just about safe, but I thought today we would do an away day at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea, a team going very, very strong at the moment. They've got Conceição as their manager. Their key player is Tobias Neureuther. I've definitely said that incorrectly. This man's very, very good, isn't he? I mean, he's not a real player, but he looks unreal. Look at the mentals. Look at the physicals. Is he a right back? Is he a left back? What is he? I feel like I look at him and think wing back. Where are they playing him? They've been playing him at left midfielder this year. He's got 10 goals and 7 assists. For a man with 7 finishing, that really is not bad. So not the furthest of away days for us today. We are heading to London, but of course we have been playing in Sutton for much of this season. And Sutton to Chelsea, it's not a million miles to travel. And as for Stamford Bridge, not a million miles away, of course, from Fulham, just down the road. Here it is in all its glory. If we go to the satellite view, drink it in, enjoy it. It looks very fancy from above, doesn't it? I mean, you have to assume there's going to be lots of street view options, and indeed there is, although apparently there's some here on the railway line. Can we go on the railway line? We can't go on the railway line. I've never been so disappointed not to get hit by a train. I've never thought about this. Why is this stadium called Stamford Bridge? I mean, here's Fulham Road Bridge. Where is Stamford Bridge? Is there another bridge that I'm missing? I've just come to admire Fulham Road Bridge. Look at this. Great bridge. Can we look over? There you go. Where is Stamford Bridge? I mean, the stadium's there. Where's the actual bridge of Stamford Bridge? I mean, this is not the right bridge, is it? Okay, I believe Stamford Bridge is the other side of this hotel and this complex. So first things first, you've got some good facilities here. You've got a sports bar, you've got a big old hotel, and if we walk around here, we could just admire pictures of heroes of times gone by. Joe Cole, who's next? I want to find out who's next. Go forward. Ron Harris and his blurry face. Nicholas Anelka, also ticket touting, criminal offence. If you try and sell me tickets on my away day, you will be arrested. I mean, first thoughts, it doesn't really look like a football stadium. Is that a weird statement to make? From the outside looking in, it looks quite grand. I think it's the mixture of kind of the light brickwork with the stone and like metal. What does it look? I don't know what it looks. It just doesn't look like a football stadium. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to look for the bridge. I'm going for a wander all the way around the edge. Also, refreshments. Not sure what refreshments they sell. It doesn't look all that appetizing, does it, that refreshment stall? Can we go back here? We can. Oh, what is this? What have I found? The Chelsea Hub. What is the Chelsea Hub? I've done some research. Apparently it's a museum. Also, is that the Stamford? Why is there a plane about to hit the stadium? Things have taken a turn. I've done a full lap. I can't find another bridge. So, very, very confusing scenes. Here we have lovely drone footage from inside the stadium. Now, I'll tell you now, I like this drone footage because very often it's really high up and you can't actually enjoy the interior of the stadium. We can do that at Stamford Bridge today. Is having your team's name written out on seats twice the equivalent to tattooing your own name on you? I think it is. I know it's because it's the song Chelsea, Chelsea. That doesn't matter. You don't need your name twice. You know, you could have put it elsewhere on the stadium instead of having the Nike tick dominate some seats. Now, at some point, the Google Street View van was able to drive through the stadium. I mean, I say this, it says Google Street View. This was in 2009. They just let the Street View van drive through the ground. How did it get out? Did it drive through here? They let the Street View van drive into the state. Can I get out here? I think I'm trapped. But they literally let the Street View van drive into the stadium. I don't know how to... That's a first for an away day. And if you wanted some higher drone footage, here it is in all its glory. I still remain adamant, this stand does not look like a football stand from the outside. No one can convince me otherwise. I'm still trying to find where the actual Stamford Bridge is. Was there like a bridge here at a different point that the stadium just got built over? I have no idea. Wait, is that Stamford Bridge? That just looks like a tunnel. I don't know. Okay, Stamford Bridge, characterful stadium, very unique stadium, built up over time. I don't know how I feel about all the buildings just attached to the back of the smaller ground. Like, that feels like an issue if you ever want to make this specific stand bigger. Like, you probably should have thought about that ahead of time. Besides that, though, and the fact that I can't actually find the Stamford Bridge, I'm going to give this a pretty decent score, I think. Chelsea, away day, 7 out of 10. Let me know what you think. Could have been an 8 with better parking. We'll say that. So in terms of team news for today's game, this is the side that we're going with. Going to try and play a full strength squad and get an upset result here for the final live game of the season. In terms of the team, Lemos is locking down the centre attack in mid position, somewhat unsurprisingly, has continued to develop in the last month since that NXGN award was announced. Elsewhere, Hame is now natural at defensive midfielder, and to be honest, it hasn't had a massive negative effect on his overall ability. Of course, the more positions a player plays, the more it will kind of impact how the attributes feed into the overall ability of a player. But generally speaking, centre defensive mid doesn't eat up that much more than a centre mid. And within our system, he's been playing pretty well as of late. Typically, defensive midfielders don't get the best of ratings. I think it's a bit of a testament to him that his average rate for the last 5 games is a 6.9, and that is comfortably the best of all of our centre mids. Elsewhere, I am going to play a Boubakari ahead of Machete, who's been struggling form-wise in this game. Machete, been a bit hit and miss, bit disappointed perhaps. I think he just needs to sit out from the first team team for a game or two. So Aboubakari's going to come in. Besides that, though, we are at full strength with one minor exception. Adam, the handsome left-back from Germany, he is currently suspended. He's not been playing that well either. As a result, Galvez is going to come into the team. It's his 4th start of the year, although he has played a lot of minutes for us on off the bench. Keen to see what he can do today. In terms of players in form, though, Lemos is the man with a plan. I was criticising him, I think, just last episode for the lack of goals and assists, and, well, I think he took it to heart because he really has been a little match winner, and it has been his creativity that has seen a flurry of goals, I feel like, over the course of the last couple of games, particularly with Jaime being able to pick balls from deep and having someone like Lemos directly behind the strikers. They just offer us a creative outlet that we haven't had at certain points this year. I don't think it's entirely surprising that our worst run of games in December was when Jaime was injured for the whole year. He really is a difference maker for us as we build up play. And with Lemos in form ahead of him, there's just a bit of a link-up play there. It's a bit of a spark. It's very exciting to watch. I realise I big that all up. Watch get absolutely battered today by Chelsea. Of course, going into this game with no real expectations, but if the referee would like to give us a penalty, yeah, put your hand to your ear, give us the penalty, ref. That would be good, wouldn't it? Away from home, we have a chance to take the lead here. Michael Oliver has not retired. 12 years into the future, and now all eyes on Aboubakari. Can he break the deadlock for us? He is our best penalty taker. That's not saying a great deal, and he's missed. I want to cry. I mean, we start the corner. Look, Tejera on corners is as good as a penalty, really. Jaime is going to take it on this occasion. Back post, Tejera doesn't even win the header. And now Nuralta, the man who I've been very scared of, the key man for them. Bleach blonde hair in the match engine. Bringing the ball forward. Are they really still playing him at left mid? I feel like that should be considered a war crime, playing him at left mid. It just shouldn't be allowed. They are playing him at left mid. It's just a bit offensive, I feel like, to his ability as a footballer. Chelsea now with a free kick. Ruben Neves dinking it forward. Keeper collects it well. Setford did have a moment of madness against Peterborough. Don't need a moment of madness today. If we want to cause an upset result, we need to make sure we don't shoot ourselves in the foot. But well, maybe we already have. We've missed a penalty. Plenty of time left, though, to try and reset mentally and go again. And we are going to look to play it out from the back here. Setford, Tejera, Fallentine. Nice little bit of build-up play. Jaime dropping deep, spreading it to Volder. This is nice. Gaspar's through. Can he finish it through the keeper's legs? Of course Jakob Gaspar can. He's the best wonder kid in all of Europe and the world. Yeah, the NXGN Award's the whole world, isn't it? It's not like the European Golden Boy. He's the best around. No one's ever going to keep him down, or however that song goes. What happened here? What was the defending? I mean, the ball by Volder's mad to pick out that pass. And yeah, he's put that through the keeper's legs. Close your legs, son. Okay, we've taken the lead. Then there's instantly another highlight. Chelsea's way. This fills me with dread. They've got the ball. Ruben Neves. Maybe I've celebrated too soon. I mean, you know what? If you can't celebrate scoring at Stamford Bridge to take the lead, when can you celebrate as a newly promoted team? Well, maybe the answer's 2 minutes later. We might have to do some defending here because Cho is turned his man. He's giving it now to who I assume is Reece James, still at right wing back. He's bringing it forward here for Chelsea. Options in the middle. Cho is there. Lays it across. Ruben Neves scores, and we had the lead for a minute. That was good. I enjoyed that. To be fair to Chelsea, it was a nicely worked goal, and the finish at the end of it was good too. From our point of view, just caught defending maybe a little bit too deep, a little bit of extra quality on the ball meant that the Chelsea players could kind of bait our players in, and as we went ball chasing, they went scoring. Have just checked. Is 34-year-old Reece James at right wing back? Fair play. Gaspar battling away for the ball. Volder gets a nice little interception. Now with Lemos, who's going to lay it wide to Galvez. Slotting in, of course, a left wing back. A rare start for him today to show us what he's made of. Jaime dinks it. Great ball to Gaspar. Through. Dinks the keeper. He loves a little dink. He loves chips more than I love fish and chips. I feel like every finish he scores, he's dinking over the keeper. It's 2-1 here. Take that, Chelsea. I'm not going to say anything about Jaime playing Roman playmaker. All I'm going to say is, with the plays killer balls often trait, it can be a very good role in situations like that. It's a good goal. It's a crucial goal. I mean, we've gone through periods this season where we couldn't score and we couldn't defend. At the moment, we're in one of these situations where we can score a lot defensively. We're not really doing that whole defending thing. Half an hour playing this game, we are in a really, really good spot. Gaspar's been taking the chances that have come his way. Elsewhere, Aboubakari, of course, missed a penalty. That's not going to help his rating for this game. He sat on a 6.2. We took the lead in this game in the 20th minute. Nothing's happened for the next 20 minutes. I'll quite happily take 2-1 at half-time, please, Football Manager. Thank you. I mean, if a highlight had happened, then I would have been livid. Now, I could praise the players here, but I feel like in Football Manager, if you praise the players when you're winning, they just do stupid stuff. But maybe I've done stupid stuff because I've just pissed off Gaspar, Jaime, and Volder, who are all playing well. Okay, look, I'm going to get them in a little huddle in the corner and try and deal with them individually. You keep up the good work. You're playing brilliantly. I mean, Jaime's motivated, Volder's inspired, Gaspar's hurt himself in confusion. It's like I'm playing Pokemon Red again. I think I'm going to make a change here early on in this half. I'm going to take off Aboubakari and bring in Machete. Aboubakari's not really been able to save his rating since missing the penalty, although maybe it's harsh to judge his rating based on the fact he missed a penalty. It was always going to cause issues. Chilumbu's not playing amazing, so I'm going to take him off. We're going to bring in Kavan Williams, I think. And well, maybe I should have paused before I made changes because they've nearly scored there. Chelsea have had a little more of the ball than us, which is not entirely surprising with them as the home team, but generally when I want to win these kind of games, possession is what wins us them. If we win the possession battle, we have a bit more of a chance. There's a temptation, I suppose, to try and lower the tempo, shorten the passing, but I don't really want to change a winning formula at this point, which might be a little bit naive, but I do feel like with our system, the more they push, the more they leave themselves open at the back. Our system is set up to capitalise on that. Jaime's just hit the crossbar twice from one free kick. That doesn't happen very often, does it? That was weird. 15 minutes left. We're trying to hold on with all our might, but naturally, Chelsea are bringing superior quality than we have off the bench. And with that, against tired legs, they could have issues, or we could have issues. Setford's having some issues. I think he stopped it. It might have hit the woodwork. I don't know what's happening. Can we just collect the ball and be calm? This is very stressful. I'm not enjoying this. They've got Jadon Sancho in their team. Oh, we could counter here. Gaspar turns his man. Go on, Gaspar. 16 acceleration, 16 pace. Absolutely no ability dribbling from the looks of that. And now they've got a corner. It's Jadon Sancho over it. Jadon Sancho plays for Chelsea in this universe. Neuralta's just hit the crossbar. I feel like he's had all of their chances, the blonde beast. I mean, I can see why he's their key player. From left mid, he's done everything for them. Did just want to check. I can confirm it is Jadon Sancho, aged 34, playing for Chelsea. Joined Chelsea for £56 million. I'll be honest, after an amazing first year, he has been absolutely cack the last 2 seasons. Okay, look, 10 minutes left. We're going to lower the tempo, get rid of overlap, get rid of passing to space, and up the time wasting slightly. I just want to try and see out this game. We are weathering a storm right now. Chelsea are the better team. They've created way more in this half. I could get some more fresh legs on, I suppose. Let's bring in Price. Schmid's on a booking. I don't love it. Scott Williams on you come. Galvez has been awful at left back. I don't have another left back to bring on. Oh my word. If we got a win here, it'd be the biggest win of the season. And the fact it's happened in an episode would be amazing. Although, Tejera, what are you doing? You dingus. They should have scored. They could have scored on another day. They probably would have scored. That could be the last highlight, please, Football Manager. I want to hold on for what would be a historic win. There's 4 minutes of added time. Why are you showing me another highlight? Why are we doing this to me, Football Manager? Volder, love the time wasting. Love that from you, son. Gives it to Kavan Williams. Volder, Fallentine with the ball for us. Gives it to Tejera, Machete, Jaime. Look at this. This is nice. Price is on off the bench. Price, well, the Price is right is the name of the TV show. The Price was wrong there. He's kicked it straight at the goalkeeper. And now Kavan Williams has got injured. I mean, I've got a sub left over. Gaddy, you're on you come. Oh, blooming heck. There's 1 minute left. It's going to be fine, I hope. Okay, confirm the sub. Stare at the top left. The more I stare at it, the quicker time's going to go. Why are we playing so much added time here? I think the Williams injury must be pretty bad. Let's hope that's not the case. Oh my word. We've won 2-1. I should be really happy about that, but I'm more worried about Kavan Williams. I know he's not like one of our big key players anymore, but he's special to me. You know, he matters to me. I hope he's fine. Breathe a sigh of relief, everyone. Twisted knee. Can live with that. I'm calm. Now I can enjoy the win. Conceição wants a conversation about the officiating. The officiating, mate, was absolutely bloody brilliant in that last game. When we missed a penalty in the 5th minute, I'll be honest, I was preparing for the worst. But it's that man who popped up again and again throughout this year, Jakub Gaspar. He's got 2 more goals. 14 goals now in his maiden Premier League season. Not a bad return for a player still in his teen years. Apparently, Pepper prefers Gaspar to Cho. Cho, if I'm not mistaken, is one of Chelsea's strikers. Here is Mohamed Ali Cho. He's quite a good player, but if I compare him with Gaspar, Gaspar's clear. I agree with Pepper. Gaspar is the better player, has better attacking on the polygon. With that result, by the way, we've moved on to 47 points. We're on an amazing run of form. 4 wins in a row. We've just beaten the team in third. This is going to be, well, hopefully a really strong end to the season, of which there are 5 games left. Now, like I already said, we're not ending today's episode there. I am now going to play through to the end of the season off camera and come back for the end of season review portion. That is going to set us up for a transfer special tomorrow. In terms of the games we've got left this season, we're probably going to get battered in all but the Leeds game. So yeah, don't expect a load of good results. I'm going to join you in a mo. If we're still in 11th, it's a miracle. Also, if future Jack's wearing different clothes, it's because he's had to play a month and a half in Football Manager, and it's probably a different day he's recording on. I don't know. Future Jack, wherever you are, take it away. Thank you, Past Jack. Yes, folks, we're at the end of the season. I have played those 5 remaining games. Tottenham, we lost 1-0. Leeds, we lost 2-3-1. Arsenal, we lost 2, but 2 wins to end the season. The first against Liverpool looks amazing, and to be fair, it is an amazing result. They did have 2 red cards inside the first 27 minutes. So, yeah, it wasn't like we were playing an even game against them, but a little bit of a silver lining. James Price popped up with 2 goals. Didn't do anything all season. Got 3 goals in the last 2 games of the season. And I mentioned the fact he actually got 3 goals in the last 2. The other goal came against Newcastle United. We won this game 2-1 away from home. Last minute Gadia goal. Price picked up another. And Lemos, who I did actually end up starting as a striker, just as a little bit of an experiment in this game, he popped up with 2 goals. So yeah, Gustavo Lemos can probably do it as a centre attacking mid, can probably do it as a striker as well. I'm falling in love with this man, even if he gets red cards a lot. And with those final results, this is the final league table. We ended up finishing 12th place. Not a bad first season by any means. 53 points as a points total is a really good points total. I do feel like we maybe overperformed our points a little bit, got lucky in games here and there. Our expected position was apparently 13th, so maybe I'm being a bit overly harsh on us. On the whole, though, really, really good, successful first season in the Premier League. A little bit sad, I suppose, from the content point of view. It has fizzled out into a mid-table finish with not a load of stuff going on to end the season. But let's look at the positives. Going into this season, if you'd offered me 12th, I would have bitten your hand off for it. So with that said, here is the end of season review for the 2033-34 season. In terms of signings, of course, we signed quite a few players. Interesting to know, our signing of the season is apparently Emiliano Montero, who only started 7 games and got a 6.62 rating. How has this man picked up signing of the season? I'm not going to say it too loudly. Jakub Gaspar has been absolutely robbed there. This man is my signing of the season. Of course, we signed a fair few players. Lemos, despite all the bad times, also had some good times for us. Let me know in the comments, like I already said, who would your player of the season be? Obviously, Jaime came in, did way better than all our other centre defensive mids. I do just feel like in the match engine, they just don't really get good ratings. In terms of transfers out, there's one transfer that was bigger than all the others. The only big sell we made all year, Evan Broderick, we sold to Leicester for £8 million. He played 2 games on off the bench, and then they loaned him to play in the Challenger Pro League in Belgium. In terms of the actual league performance, like we already said, great season, A- from the board. I feel like that's harsh. I should feel like that should be a little bit higher. And well, when it comes to cup competitions, let's just not talk about the cup competitions. 2-1 against Manchester United in the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, long time ago now. That 7-0 result still haunts me. Apparently our match to remember was that Leeds United game you might remember in the very first episode of the season. The goal of the season was Lemos's goal in the 2-1 defeat against Manchester United. I remember this effort, bottom left corner as the keeper faces it. Let's give it a watch. Here is that goal of the season in question. Manchester United trying to play out from the back. Lemos battling away, a little terrier in the midfield, pulled the trigger, bottom corner, good finish. Controversial take here. I think Addons' effort. Can you remember it a few episodes ago into the top corner? I think that was a better goal. When it comes to the finances, a season in the Premier League is pretty transformative for a club like ourselves. £93 million in broadcast revenue. Competition prize money, £17 million. Yeah, compared to the last few seasons, that is quite a radical change. Here is the team of the year. You'd feel like, given the fact we've just finished 12th place, we'd have more players with above a 7.0 rating. But here are the ratings for the year. Tejera, the only man with above a 7. Tejera, what a beautiful man. Still not over the 19 jumping reach, but 8 goals in 36 games. Not a bad year for him. But of course, I think the big man we have to thank really this year is Jakub Gaspar. 14 goals in the league, and a team that didn't score all that many league goals was a very handy return. And just a reminder, because, you know, I've never mentioned it in previous episodes, not a bad signing for £650,000. We get £17 million for finishing 12th place, which is not insignificant. Aboubakari's been inducted into the overall best 11. Here is the Hall of Fame here at Guernsey. Love seeing Tejera in there. Love seeing Aboubakari. Many legends from past and present. Cavan Williams, Also popping in, of course, a player who this year didn't really set the world alight, but he was here, he had fun. I think that's all that matters. Of course, just as a little bit of a reminder, in a month's time, we're going to be moving into our brand new stadium, the Guernsey Stadium. I kind of would like to rename the stadium. I feel like maybe we have a year of calling it the Guernsey Stadium, then we come up with a new name for it. So if you've got any stadium name ideas, maybe get them down in the comments. And if you see some stadium name suggestions that you like, give them a thumbs up. In the same way that you can apply real name fixes, you know, to fix team names that aren't correct, a bit like Napoli and Roma in Football Manager, you can also do that similar thing with stadium names. So that is something that we could do down the line. Maybe there's a legend we should be paying tribute to. Just in a little bit of transfer news to whet your appetite as well for next season, Kennedy Warunga, I'm going to go with that as his name, Kenyan international, 18 years old, signed from Malmo, one for the future. I don't remember having a Kenyan regen in years. I feel like I had a centre mid Kenyan regen years ago, but it's been a while, so I'm going to hope that Warunga's going to be good. He looks pretty decent at 18 years old as a depth option at left wing back, but also maybe a long-term wide centre-back option on that left-hand side. And just to look at the finances to end the year, £50 million in the bank, transfer budget £45 million, wage budget probably needs a bit more money shuffled into it. Make no mistake, tomorrow and the transfer special the day after, I think they're going to be pretty fun. We got money to burn. Anyway, folks, I think we're going to end things there from me for today. A fantastic season here at Guernsey. 12th place, a really strong finish. We got some unexpected points as the season went on. In terms of my plans for next season, I would like to remove the reliance on loan. I'd love to find a few players like Lemos, and I think Warunga falls into this bracket a little bit, who are players who I can sign permanently, give regular first-team football to, players who I think are good enough to keep us up, but are also players that I think could longer term be good enough to, well, hopefully help us push for European football as they kind of take time to develop. That might mean we have to take a step backwards next year. Maybe we score slightly fewer points with a younger squad, but I think longer term, it really sets us up for some sustainable success. We will be back tomorrow for more Park to Prem action. Until then, take it easy. It is me, Jack, and I'll see you all on the next one. I'm out.